Okay, so here we go. Welcome, everybody, to, I guess this is the second live show that I did. I did the last one last year, a long time ago. And while it was good and, went over fairly well, there wasn't a lot of viewers at the time. And right now, there are 79 viewers, which is good. I'd like to see more, to be honest. Supposedly, there was 541 people supposedly attending. What happened to all of the people? Where did they go? At least that's what it says down here at the bottom. RSVP. There's 541 people supposedly attending. I don't know. I don't know where they are. Okay, so 30 minutes. And by the way, hang on one second. I'll be back in 1 second. I'm still here. Just got to get something. This. My timer. 30 minutes, baby, and that's it. I am out of here. 30 minutes. There you go. Okay. What to talk about? I don't know. The first question that I'll ask is, where is everybody from? Where are you from? Are you from my neck of the woods in Canada? Are you from, maybe in the States, maybe Ireland, Iceland, who knows? So where are you from? Wisconsin, Toronto, holy cow, going to Montreal, I guess LA, Alaska, Israel, Vancouver, Ireland, England. These are, by the way, the people who are actually commenting and in the chat session right now. And by the way, if you're watching this and you're not in the chat, well, get in the chat. Belgium, St. John, New Brunswick. What do you know? Edmonton, Alberta. Okay, good stuff. Ohio, New Jersey. Seems like there's a lot of people from Israel here. The North Pole. It's Santa Claus. It's funny because according to our stats on 3dgameman.com as well as rodneyreynolds.com, most of our viewers are from United States and Canada, which, that makes kind of sense since that's where I'm from and located and so on and so forth. But still, there's a lot of people, watching and viewing from around the world, which is fantastic. Okay. The next question is, I know that this is a live feed, and some of you probably would like to have seen this live, but it will be recorded, hopefully, if everything goes right, and you can watch it at a later date. But it's nice to be able to watch something live. What I will do is, this will be up on Ustream, and I'll also put it on, I believe what I'll do is I'll put it on my Rodney Reynolds YouTube site, and probably not put these on 3D Game Man YouTube site, because this is more of a personal thing that I'm doing. So more than likely, I'll probably push this towards my RodneyReynolds.com and Rodney Reynolds personal stuff instead of on the 3D Game Man. So if you can't watch it live, then well, you'll be able to watch it later. I have another question for you guys. What time is it there? Because I know some of you cannot watch it, and some of you are going to watch it regardless, and some of you are probably up very, very late. So what time is it right now at your location? 6:30 what? AM, PM? PM, okay. 8:30 PM. Ah, someone in the same time zone as me, 9:35. 8:45, 2:30 in the morning. Dude. 11:35. It's in Florida. 4:35 a.m. Wow. 4:30. Wow, that's very late. Very late indeed. So thank you for staying up for this. I know some people, up 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning. If your kids, you probably want to keep it quiet because your parents might come in on you and tell you, "Get off the computer! What are you doing?" So the feed is still good. The feed is still live. Audio and video are in sync, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Amazing. Okay, the topic that I selected for tonight is internet browsers. What internet browser do you like best? I know that I don't like Internet Explorer, and for many reasons. It's slow, it's very cumbersome. I find the tabs an issue. It just doesn't work properly, like, for example, a browser like Firefox, or for that matter, Google Chrome. I tend to use Firefox mostly. Now, a lot of people say that Firefox, well, I don't know, there's too much. There's just, it seems in a way bloated, but I don't find that at all. I find it very good, especially if you're using it for work applications, and you need to have all kinds of different plugins, because that's what you can do, and that's the power of Firefox. There's literally thousands of different plugins that you can use with it, and you can make it your own. You can really tailor it to how you want to use it. I find it very fast, quick to load, very seldomly does it cause any issues, and it loads most websites. Now, I also tend to use, my second choice would be Google Chrome. That's extremely fast and really good if you're using it on, for example, a netbook or a notebook or something like that. It's very intuitive, very easy. You can do a search in the address bar. It's very, very easy to use. Next to that, I have to say, Mozilla is really good. Let me just looking at here something. What am I saying here? Opera, sorry. And also Safari is quite good, but Internet Explorer would be my last choice. Now, I know that there's a new one out, the Internet Explorer 9. I don't know if any of you people have actually tried that or not. I did, and it seems okay, but it's like a preview. Pretty fast. Yeah. Seems like a lot of you here really, really enjoy using Firefox. Yeah, I know. Internet Explorer 9 is still kind of the same kind of, Microsoft Internet Explorer kind of stuff. There is also something really cool with Firefox that you can do with regards to Firefox, restoring all your information, like your bookmarks and your passwords and so on and so forth. There's a sync plugin that you can use that I use quite a bit. It's quite nice. I'm just reading some of the comments here. I think why most people use Internet Explorer is because it's already preloaded on the system. And, your nanopops out there, well, they don't know anything different, really. They just load up the computer system, they start Internet Explorer, and, they deal with the issues. What do? They don't know how to really download another browser. And I know my parents, they're very novice when it comes to computers, even though I try to build systems for them and tell them about things and so on and so forth. They really don't have an aptitude for it, and that's fine. Not everyone has to have an aptitude for computer systems, but Internet Explorer is something that is really, well, that's it. That's, and when you mention a browser, what's a browser to some people? They don't even know what a browser is. And my parents, well, why would you go and use another browser? I mean, Internet Explorer is the browser, isn't it? And, a lot of people don't know, so that's why they're using Internet Explorer, and unfortunately, they have issues with it. Now, I understand that sometimes you have to use Internet Explorer because a lot of websites, are based upon Internet Explorer, and sometimes if you don't use Internet Explorer, the page won't work correctly. Now, that is very, very seldom these days, but that does happen. Okay, so do you guys have any topics for me directly? Have any kind of questions that you want to ask me? I think that's what I'll base the rest of the show on. If you want direct questions to me. And I know a lot of you, there are 54 people in the chat room right now, so there's going to be a lot of questions flying at me. So let me just try and get to these as best I can. What is my current car? Everybody wants to know what kind of car I drive. Who cares what kind of car I drive? You know what? I'm a dad, and I sometimes do renos in my home. So maybe you can guess what kind of car I drive. Anyone? Anyone? Have kids, do renos, need lots of space. What kind of vehicle do I have? Yes! Somebody got it right. Someone else got it right. Bentley, yeah, right. It's me, billionaire Rodney. A Ferrari. I'd like to have one. Yes. It is, at the moment, a minivan. But it wasn't always a minivan. It was, before that, I had a Blazer, which is, I guess, kind of like an SUV kind of vehicle. Go over anything and not worry about going over the curb. Before that, all kinds of interesting vehicles. I had a Camaro, an Acura Integra, Honda Civic, which, by the way, I did love tremendously. I have to say that if I had the money to get another vehicle, sports car, I would not get a Camaro or a Corvette. I'd probably get something more compact, something smaller than that. Maybe a Mustang, if I had the money, a Porsche, something like that. Something that you can actually see over the bonnet, because I don't know who, any of you out there have a Camaro or had a Camaro. The front end on that thing, man, it's like driving a boat. It's powerful when you launch, and in the straight run, but when you're, doing a little bit of cornering and so on and so forth, it can be a little much, to be honest. Yeah, the older Camaros, they're nice. The guy across the street actually has one. It's really old. I don't know how old it is, but he's modified the engine. It's like, I don't know, like 500 or 600 horsepower or something. You can certainly hear him leaving the house. Rodney, you're hot. Well, thank you. I hope you're a female. By the way, are there any females here? Hello to the females. Females? Sherry won't be jealous, no. We've been married too long for that. Which is a good thing. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. We're still good. Oh, no girls on the internet. Oh, yeah, there's lots of girls on the internet. They're just not here. My girlfriend's watching. All the girls are bots. I'm just curious, that's all, because I know when it comes to this kind of technology and this kind of website and, this kind of thing, normally there's not a lot of girls or women that tend to hang around. And, I mean, for many reasons. One of them being maybe, women don't get involved with this stuff. They are now in gaming and so on and so forth, but they don't really get involved as much as us males. who love playing crazy games and shooting everything and so on and so forth. That's why I ask. Oh, and by the way, this is another shameless plug for my wife. She has her own channel right now. If you go to youtube.com/Sherry F. Reynolds, you can view some of her stuff. It's not tech stuff. It's more of a lifestyle YouTuber kind of stuff, but you can go there if you want to check her out. And yeah, the links are on in the chat room, so you can go ahead now if you want to, and you can do links. But just don't link to anything, please. Anything that's too, crazy. Okay, next question. I'm going to just spot these and answer them. Sorry if I don't answer yours. You can go to rodneyreynolds.com and you can post the question in there, and I'll answer it in there, because what I'm doing now is I'm doing these videos every other day of the week, and I'm answering 5 or 10 or more questions in that one video. Instead of doing them separately, because before I was doing them separately, and when you do stuff separately, you've got to do the video, and you got to upload it and put the text in, the tags, and all this. There's just more work involved, to be honest. So do it all in one shot and then just send it up there. And by the way, if you're asking me questions now in the chat room, please make them very short as you possibly can, because they're flying up there, and it's kind of hard for me to. The diplomas behind me, man, oh man, oh man, I tell you, what car do I drive? What diplomas are behind? This is not tech stuff. This is just other things. These things are university diplomas. Some of you might know this. I graduated from university with a Bachelor of Science degree, a degree in GIS, which is Geographic Information Systems, and some of you are probably going, huh? Well, that is basically predicting if things were to happen, what would you have to do? For example, if there was a nuke that went off in central New York, what would you have to account for? The wind patterns and other things and so on and so forth. So that's what really GIS is about, Geographic Information Systems. So that's what I did. But what am I doing now? But yeah, this is certainly a transition between that and this. But you kind of morph into what you think is good and what will work, and there you have it. Okay, keep the questions coming in here, but short and sweet. No, I've never been to Ireland. I'd like to go. What would I say is the best bang for the buck video card? Right now, hands down, it is, it's two video cards really. The ATI HD 5850 and the NVIDIA GTX 460. But I would lean more towards, right now, the NVIDIA GTX 460. That is just an incredible video card. It performs exceptionally well, and you can overclock it, quite a bit from stock. And it's cool as well. It's not that hot, not like the other 400 series from NVIDIA. So if you're thinking about getting a really good video card at a decent price, because these are only $200 a pop, that's not a lot of money. When you're thinking about decent video cards out there, we used to think about spending $500 or $600 or $700 on a video card. I know I did way back when the Voodoo was out there and 3DFX. It was just crazy prices. So that's not bad, $200. But the best bang for the buck video card right now, I think, would be the GTX 460. Yeah, the Voodoo 5500, man, oh man, that was crazy. When is a RAID controller needed? Well, if you decide to go with a RAID configuration, you need a RAID controller. Now, you can get a motherboard that has a RAID controller, and that will work fine, and that's what I've used for the most part. You don't really need to have a separate RAID controller. RAID 0 is the best gaming, RAID 0 array will be the best setup for a gaming setup, to be honest, and that's what I have. But the problem with a RAID 0 setup would be that if you lose one drive, you lose all of the data. So, use a RAID 0 for your C drive, and then have other drives backing up your important data. I'm just looking again here at the questions. Sorry if I don't get to yours. McDonald's or Burger King? Neither. What's a decent computer boot time? Man, lots of excellent questions. You know what? I haven't really timed it, but anywhere from 10 to 15 seconds is good. It depends, though, what you have, because if you have like RAID controllers and so on and so forth, it's going to take longer for the system to boot up. Just put it into a sleep mode. When you're finished, when you leave for the night, just put it in sleep. Come back, hit the keyboard, bam, you're back. Okay, we got 10 more minutes, people. Keep the questions coming. Boy, half an hour is just going to fly by. 460 or a 5970, an NVIDIA GTX 480, or an ATI HD 5970. I would probably go with the 5970. Liquid cooling is better. Yes, it is better. If you go liquid cooling, it's much better than air cooling in most situations. These new ALCs that are out there, Coolit and Corsair have, they're excellent because what they do is they introduce a whole group of people to liquid cooling that would never look at liquid cooling. And the good thing is it just takes the guesswork out of having to select a radiator, the pump, and the and everything else involved, like the tubes and the coolant and the pump and where they get placed inside of the case, because that stuff takes a long time. I used to be into water cooling in a big way, but I've kind of moved away from it now because I normally just leave my case open, and to have all the tubes and so on and so forth, it's just it's to be honest, it's a bit of a pain. But if you have a nice large case and plenty of room and plenty of places to put all the different water cooling components, then custom water cooling is much better than going with something like a product like Coolit or Corsair have. But still, they are fantastic products. And Corsair is coming out with a new ALC, which is the H70. This is the step up from the H50 that they have. And that's going to be, I think, an interesting product as well. And Coolit also has a very, very good product, the Vantage, which I reviewed. Hopefully I'll be reviewing the H70 as well. Have I had a bad experience with AMD? I guess you may be referring to maybe a CPU or a video card. I'm not quite sure, but no. As a matter of fact, the system that I'm using right now to stream all this stuff is an AMD CPU-based system entirely, really. And if you want to find out what I have on my number 2 computer, which is this one that I'm broadcasting from right now, you can go to www.rodsrig.com, and you can go in there and see what my number 2 rig is. My number 1 rig is what I use for mostly gaming and work, video editing and that kind of thing, and that is an Intel-based system. It's an i9-20 overclocked to 4 gigahertz and so on and so forth. So that's a system that I use for my hardcore stuff, which is this one over here. But yeah, AMD, no problem at all with AMD. It's great stuff. It's major bang for the buck stuff. Yeah, I think Les is great. Survivor Man, a brave man, going after doing all kinds of crazy stuff like that. To be honest, I wouldn't mind doing that kind of thing. Shutdown or sleep mode? Good question. And I think one that I did actually cover. I normally shut this system down entirely and completely. but my AMD rig, my number 2 rig, which I use for email and that type of thing, which I'm starting a lot, during the day and sometimes at night, I put that one to sleep. So this one I shut down, and this one I put to sleep. But I don't leave computer systems running all the time. Some people think that you have to, turn on your computer system and leave it on, because the components cool down and they warm up, and there could possibly be some degradation, and that will shorten the lifespan. But if they're on, then you're going to wear them out that way as well. So I mean, you can't win if you shut them down, and you shut them down, it's cool, and then it warms up and so on. But the chips are designed to take this kind of torture and punishment for the most part. So you know what? Be green. Today is all about being green. Put your computer systems to sleep. Shut them down at the end of the day, and be kind to Mother Nature. We're going to need her. Okay, keep the questions coming. T minus 5 minutes, you're right. I better pop up these windows here before I lose them so I can kill this feed. Some person just mentioned Linux, Ubuntu. I have a Linux distro installed on another laptop that I have, which is it's like 5 years old, and it's, gosh, what's the name of it now? It's a fantastic distro. I got to tell you this because it's just brilliant. If you have an old laptop and maybe you have Windows, God knows, maybe XP or something older than that on it, and you just go, oh my gosh, I can't stand this. I need something else. I need something that's quick, but something that I can install, and everything's in there, and there's no fooling around with it. And maybe you're thinking about some kind of Linux distro. What would it be? Well, I've gone through a number of them: Ubuntu, Mint, Fedora. I've been through a few of them. And to be honest, I'm not, a Linux guy, Unix. I'm not into that type of thing. I just want to install an operating system, have it work, and then, focus on something else. The one that I found, which was amazing, is PC Linux OS. And you can visit them at PCLinuxOS.com. And that is a fantastic OS. You install it and forget it. That's it. You don't have to install Flash afterwards and all kinds of other all kinds of other networking issues and so on and so forth. You can just install it and forget it. If you see me looking over here, it's to this, my timer, and there's only 3 minutes left. Okay, keep the questions coming, guys. 3 minutes. Or maybe I should dance in the last 3 minutes. The best air cooler. Somebody out there answer that question because I've done it a number of times. I know the V10 or the D14. That's the D14, by the way. It's Noctua. I have a Cooler Master V10 right now on my system, and it's overclocked to 4 gigahertz and Intel i920. It's quite good. Man, it's just crazy here. Questions are flying by like mad. Let me go back here. Saw one that was kind of interesting. XP. Did somebody ask me if Windows XP, Windows XP or Windows 7? Windows 7, man. Have I ever gotten a virus that killed my computer system or my components. No, I haven't. I use Bitdefender. That's a total internet security package, you know, with firewall, antivirus, that type of thing. So, and I've been using that for quite a while. So, Bitdefender. Another one is Kaspersky. Forgive my pronunciation for that. You know, Avast. Yep. I don't know, Norton. I don't know. I used to use that years ago, but it just kills your computer system. At least that's the experience that I had in the past. And that might have changed. And I don't know. I just can't even bear to try it. Norton 2010 is the best. Well, who knows? Maybe it's changed. Maybe it's better. Okay, so there's 30 seconds left. So, do you folks think that I should do this again? Because if you do, hopefully there'll be more people attending it the next time. Now, there's 95 viewers right now, which is not bad, I guess. And, you know, this is only the second try for me, so forgive me if I'm not, you know, excited and a pro at this live stuff. I don't think I can do any more than a half an hour because, you know, it just eats into my... There you go. Time to go. Okay, until the next time, take care.